So I'm having two issues. I only have a blower motor on high, and even that drops out with my HVAC controls, and also my windshield wipers are hitting the windshield trim. So I'm going to try to make an adjustment where it connects to the wiper motor. Okay, now after these two screws right here, and both of the screws are in slotted holes, then all I'm going to do is hopefully take these wipers and then move them down a little bit, not too much. Okay, so that first try did absolutely nothing, so what I'm going to try doing this time is just moving it as far as I can go. It's not hitting no more, but it's really close, so we'll call that a victory. These are the wipers I like to use. I don't think I've replaced these in almost 2 years. Okay, now hopefully to give a demonstration, okay, that's compressor. Okay, I have nothing on low, nothing on medium 1, nothing on medium 2, and there's high. I'm wondering if maybe I can just replace that switch itself. I've never done that before. Usually I've just replaced the entire units. Cleaner stuff. I'm almost out. I'm pretty liberal with it when I do need it, but I'm going to just clean the connectors. I'm going to let that sit for a minute before I do anything else. I've had a problem in the dash before with the air conditioning compressor not kicking on. It was that connector right behind the glove box. All I really had to do with that is just unplug it and plug it back in basically. Just got a little bit of corrosion on it, but while I was in there I also used this stuff too, and ever since I haven't had a problem. So this car being 35 years old now, I wouldn't be surprised if it just has a little bit of corrosion built up on it, but we'll go ahead and plug it back in. I'm just going to set it in there for now. Yep, nothing. Okay, this is the head unit that I'm going to be using the switch off of. I got it upside down, don't I? It doesn't matter. So it's held on by two 7mm screws in the back. I'm going to probably have to pull this whole thing out just to get to them. Probably have to pull the radio out, and I'll have to disconnect it from the heater box. None of that's really hard to do. It's just one more thing to do is all. Probably have to drop the glove box out to get to everything. This unit though was out of a Buick Regal. I don't think it's going to work because it was installed in the car at one point in time and the air conditioning wouldn't work. So I put this one back in it, and then the compressor would then kick on. So I don't know what's different about the units, one from another, but we'll see if we can go ahead and get this one off right now. And before I put it all back together, I'm going to go ahead and plug it in and see if it makes any difference. Make sure I plug it in right. It only goes in one way. Yeah, it's definitely don't go in like that. So we're just going to see if it works. Yeah, forgot a connector. So this entire time, it's very likely it wasn't even the switching. Okay, so we're in here. This is our resistor. So because I have a spare one laying around, it could be a connector, it could be a bad connection up here. I mean, they do not look that great. So I guess what we'll go ahead and do, spray that, see if it does anything before we start replacing parts. Still no different. So what we are going to do at this point is we're just going to switch this out. Nope. So what I'm doing now, since I don't think it's a switch, the resistor, or those connections, I'm going around, I'm checking the grounds. I check the ground on the blower motor, that's not it. And then I'm going to fish the one out on top of the ECM. It's another ground wire. It connects to the bottom side of the dash. It's a big black wire. No, it's not that big. It's maybe, I don't know, 14 gauge, if that. Maybe it's 16 gauge. I'm going to check the grounds. Okay, this is the ground wire that we're after. It really doesn't look like it's in very good condition right now. And it also looks like there's a little bit of slack. So it looks like it's a little bit looser than what I think it should be. So I'm going to at least cut and recrimp this and then put a new put a new eyelet on it. Okay, so I got it on medium, I have it on medium 2 right now, and I chased it up here because I'm kind of convinced it's not anything on the interior side. So I was wiggling these wires around, it kicked on, and it kicked back off. Thing is, I can't duplicate it now. So I got this pulled off. That connector right there is burnt up. I have the blower motor set to medium 2. I went ahead and bent this tab in here just a little bit because it looked like it, when it was in there, this was actually not connected, and it was actually, it wasn't in the splades. So I bent it a little bit. So I'm thinking that wasn't in there. Yeah, see, that's definitely the problem. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but it's on medium 2. So the only real fix I think to do is replace this entire everything. Cut these wires down here, replace the connector, and replace this resistor pack. I feel like an idiot because I don't know what this is. I know that there's a series of resistors down in here, but maybe I'm confused on what parts do on cars. Before I start cutting this and soldering it, I did take a picture of it because just in case these colors are not the same as the donor harness. And also I'm going to take these parts and I'm just going to throw them away, just because this one's clearly bad because the terminal's burnt. And then even though this one looks okay from the outside, I don't know what it looks like on the inside. So of course I'm not going to have confidence to put it in another vehicle. I'm just going to go ahead and chuck that as well. So just going to go ahead and cut these. I'm letting my soldering iron heat up right now, and these are going in the trash. I'm a fan of heat shrink, so I'm gonna go ahead and slip some heat shrink on too. Okay, here's the donor parts right here. I'm going to go ahead and take this tape off. There's that. Okay, this is the old pigtail. This is a new one. They have the same colors, same locations, so that makes it pretty easy for me. Okay, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go ahead and wrap these individually with some electrical tape, and I'm going to tape it back up, and I'll probably even put a zip tie on it to help hold it together, help hold the electrical tape together. And then I'm going to test it out, and then that'll probably be it. Hopefully this will be heard. Alright, that's low, medium 1, medium 2, high. It's all working. All I have to do now is just clean up my mess. So it took a while to diagnose, but finally got there.